This is my video feedback on my model. This is the finished model, textured, mapped. Um, I absolutely love it. I thought it came out great. Massive difference with the kind of with adding texture to the model, obviously. But I felt that the UV mapping was really hard, especially for the face. Um, tried so many different ways to kind of get the beard in the right place, and when I find a beard like that, I was really relieved. Um, some of it is still a bit distorted. There's a bit around here, which is not great. It looks fine to me. I think sometimes, trying to get that texture with the shirts here, the little lines, and I think kind of with the look at the shirt, the kind of with the stretch, it does kind of give that sense of creasing actually. So there's kind of a happy accident that it kind of did go to stores. It kind of does, some of it kind of looks like stretched crease marks, which is good, which I'm happy about. The skin texture for the arm is great. Literally just all I did was bring the UV mapping into Photoshop and just colour over it by using the stamp tool with a skin texture. So taking the clone stamp tool and just colouring it in over the top, and then whacking it just on it onto the model of the arm. The cravat finally touched with the drawings of the creases in there. I did do a bump map for it, and this was actually the result was this here, and it didn't really work. And if you look really far away, it looks kind of quite glittery. Like it's got some couple of bit of glitter on it, a bit of gems and all that, which is something I really didn't want, and it just looked awful. I thought anyway, so I just got rid of that and just went back to how it was before, and I am happy with that. Um, the hair, the texturing came out okay. I'll say it was distorted, but when I put a bump map onto the hair, it came out absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love the hair. It kind of really does look slicked back, and I did it as a blend material because sometimes, because the way that I wanted it to look greased back is that it's got so much in there that there is that kind of shine going on, which I really like that kind of effect of using a blend to have that kind of shine. The same way with the metal, I kind of, obviously with metal being metal, I kind of added that kind of shine on there. Kind of, see that little bit of light kind of going across the metal. It looks really nice. And with the bump map on the metal strap, I really like. I was quite worried where you can see that it's quite big kind of gaps in the kind of the cotton material, like this one here where you can see it, and with the bump map of the waistcoat. I think this would have probably been a lot more better, if not probably more like this one. It's about close that as you get really close, it looks really good. It's more for cotton than for fabric. The waistcoat, I was a bit kind of worried about the bump on it. Kind of looks a little bit more like leather. It's a crocodile skin or something, but I do like it. I did revert back to the old way with just having the texture, and it really didn't look as good as with the bump up. It just looks so much better with the bump, and really get that kind of the kind of the holes. You can see the holes in the fabric kind of thing, which I think is quite nice. And I think it is a little bit too much for it. I would say I think I should have probably toned down on the on how much it actually takes up on the plugin for Photoshop. It so you can kind of decide how much of the image and the detail you want it to actually kind of get into. And I think I'll kind of put that up a little bit too much. But I am happy with it, and I do like it. It is a massive difference compared to just kind of sort of flat like that. And I did do it on here, and it didn't work. It looked the same as that, like the cravat really far away, kind of really weird, and you can see it, all the kind of dark parts actually moving, and it was really bad on the sleeves, so I took that off. With the bump up on the beard, it kind of works. There is actually a massive difference if you turn it off, which you can't just turn it off like that, but if you kind of took it off, there is actually a pretty big difference. The only problem is the way that I cut it out. It looks like a massive thick layer of beard is just going on there. It's kind of a bit of a problem, but I do like that the beard came out great. And then the big problem with the UV mapping of actually the distortion of the ear and actually the skin, but how it just goes onto the ear as well. That's some UV mapping problem. But as I said, I had a lot of problem with the face. It's so many. Must have been about 20, 30, 40 different UVs mapping this and loads of tutorials, and it's just absolutely solid. I found it really difficult to get the face, but managed to do this one okay. And the way that I did do this is that I applied the texture and all of this came out like this, how you can see on the front, but then the actual beard started to show on the kind of like here, as you can see, where it's kind of just done that, which is not great mapping, I'm going to admit, which sucked and was really annoying that it went everywhere. But I really wanted to put this beard in because I knew if I went with the modelling way as I have before, it wouldn't look as good as it does with this. So what I did was that I selected the faces up here, added a new material, and added a skin texture that I'd already done, and placed that on there. And same, because it came down here at the back of the neck, so if you have the hair back on, it actually came just sticking out, so the hair wouldn't have covered it. So I had to kind of select the faces on the neck, do the same again, and add the skin texture onto that. The other thing was that the hair would have actually covered it, actually. So all the stuff that was coming on here, obviously the hair would have covered it, which I thought was great, but due to kind of grading in the kind of what we're looking at really with the module is obviously, you know, if you took it away, you have that mistake, and I probably should have really opened and admitted to it, but there's the mistake there. And also you can see all that distortion there, and also with the way it's mapped, a green line there from the edges and here as well. So that's the main problem was with the head. And yeah, it was really tricky. I mean, the other part, the other struggle was also the waistcoat. That took a long time to UV map, but finally got there and got it all sorted. As well, let's put the hair back on because it looks good. And I did add another bit to the back. Did try to merge the vertices together, but it didn't work. And if I move that inwards a bit, it goes into the neck, and it's really irritating. And again, and I don't know why I'm in the middle of this, but stuff like that is just really annoying. But just the amount of attempts I did with the UV mapping of the face was just ridiculous, and just happy that I got this anyway. I was really happy that I was able to get this, and I didn't really kind of go to myself like, oh, I should go for the model because I don't want to do it anymore. So I thought, no, I want to do it. I want to get this. So it's got to be a beard. It's going to be UV matte, and I'm even going to go put a bump on it. So I was happy that I did put the effort in. Another problem here, as you can see with the mapping, was the green here, just for the background a bit. But the boots, I put a shine on the boots because sometimes leather does kind of shine. Maybe not as much as I've done it here, and I know you can actually control it in the editor and probably go in specular. And I don't know, I think yeah, there we go. And then you can just bring that down, which I think is great. So there's not that much shine on it, which I think was really good. So don't get the odd bit of shine, and that looks absolutely great. So happy now that I've literally just fixed that, and so there's not as much of the shine on the leather as there is, as there was anyway. I was going to do this kind of same bump mat thing with the waistcoat to the trousers, but I thought it may go really bad, but because of how you can clearly see all the marks of the texture, it may have came out quite nicely as well, as you can see here with the way I've bump mapped the shirt, which I felt came out absolutely great. And I think I should have also kind of bump mapped the collar, but as you can see with all these little kind of weird distortion lines, that would have came up massively on top. And also here, if I bump mapped this, it would have gone absolutely awful. Really happy with the crown here, looks absolutely great. I was going to have writing over the top, like I think it's Greater Brit or something like that. That was on the kind of shillings and on the Victorian coins that I would have really liked to put on there, because at the time wasn't really able to do it. There was a couple of semiotics that I kind of put in there, kind of having the teeth yellow, where a lot of people just went really pearly white, like they've just been capped. But I thought this character did smokes a pipe, very inspired from Sherlock Holmes. So I decided to make his teeth kind of a little bit yellow, because of the causes of that smoking does towards that. And I was going to with the eye kind of just mess with it, just kind of get it so it's kind of like that, as if you kind of in damage from the work he's done and the jobs that he's done with the Queen. It's kind of actually damaged his eye, and I was going to have something like that in there. But then I'm kind of realising that when you put it together like that, it looks a lot more better, a lot more nicer. But that idea came really late to me, and then if I was going to do kind of like those blind in one eye, I would have put like an eye patch on there and modelled that up. But then I thought I would have put an eye patch on and modelled it. Modelled an eye patch, and the thing is, it was a little bit too menacing and a little bit too evil. The kind of feel of the character that I want. I kind of want to be a friendly character, so I didn't really want to put that in there. It would have been nice, I thought it was a good idea, but I thought no, it wouldn't have looked that great. But the other thing with the eyes is that I did it as a blend, so you kind of get that reflection, and you can put reflection in as well for the eye. Attribute editor, and there is kind of like a reflectivity here, and I know that there is ways to kind of put reflective in there, but the thing is with Maya is that you actually have to, so if I click on this, and then you have to go to file and actually put in the file and the image that you want to reflect, whereas in Cinema 4D that I've used in the past, you can put reflection on it, reflection material on it, and whatever he's looking at. So if we had like a character like over here in the quite close or face to face with him, you'll be able to see the reflection of the character in his eyes, just like in real time, really, which would have been really nice to put in there. But that's a lot of kind of depth and detail to go into there. Also, going back to really modelling it, I just realised that the nose to me I think looks a little bit flat, but I guess you can kind of say it can go towards a little bit something else towards the characters in what's happened, like it's been punched in the face during one of his jobs or something. So the nose is a little bit flat, but I do kind of like thinking that yeah, it's kind of probably broken it or something. But if it had broken it, this bit would have been really pushed back. But I think the best thing out of this with the bump is definitely the hair. It really does look to me it really looks like it's been slicked back, and this bit had been combed, and it's been all combed to one area, which I think is really good. And the thing that kind of made this look a lot more better than the rest is I think because these is when the actual texture for this, it was actually really stretched and really distorted, and wasn't really kind of fine detail. It's really quite stretched and distorted. You could probably kind of see here with this kind of white line here, this was kind of the really thick lines to really nice thin ones. But there was obviously thin ones, or else the bump mat wouldn't have been able to pick it up right all around here. But at distance, the hair was probably the best feature of this really, with the UV mapping and the texturing goes. But the other thing with the pocket, I didn't have a bump map on it before, but I thought it really stood out, so I added in a bump map to the pocket, and if you kind of come out, you can not really see it, which is good but kind of bad because it would be nice to see it at a distance. You have to get to about here to kind of notice it, and you can only notice it there because you can't see the side of it. But I think the fact that you can't really see the pocket kind of has the effect of a pocket, is that sometimes you can't really see them, they kind of blend in with the rest of the coat or the clothing. But but I was happy how that blended in with the rest of the waistcoat. Overall, really happy with my results. Besides the problem with the distortion on the face, which is a real pain. But overall, I absolutely love it and really happy. And really happy with the module because I learned a lot about texturing, which was the main thing that I wanted to get out of this module, was to kind of know about texturing, because in the past there has been when I've been working on my own CG stuff, and I meant to texture it, as in applying them to the model, and there's some problems, or it's kind of a little bit too, it's not really great quality. So I thought maybe that now I kind of know with UV mapping I can change it myself instead of just putting it over there. I can kind of maybe tweak it myself and change it to suit what I want if the UV mapping looks a little bit distorted or not very nice. And I don't say that I've not done a great deal job with stuff like the distortion of the face and all that, but at least tweaking it maybe can change it. And actually, come to think of it, with adding the texture on it now, you really can't see the seam down the face really. You can there, but where it was in the hair kind of pink, you can't see it. I'm happy that's kind of disappeared now. So that's kind of dealt with the seam problem. So overall, really happy with it, and I did a lot. I felt I did a lot better than I thought I was going to do. It came out a lot better than I thought, to be honest. But overall, really happy with the results, and that's everything.